So I'm like, should I go for the rice lunch or for the porridge breakfast? Guys, can you believe my choice for a school was based on how we would feed. So I went for the school that served lunch, rice, and it was a really Hola, welcome to the I Know Right podcast. Oh, are you looking for a fun side to life's experiences like work, school, everything, family, relationships? We have got you covered. Join me, your host, the Maybelline, with my awesome lineup of guests to take you on this roller coaster of life experiences with God in the driver's seat. So join me this morning for the first ever episode of I Know Right. Today we're going to be talking about high school experiences of life, and how high school experiences have affected us, how they have shaped us, how did we really find them. So it's going to be an awesome ride. As I told you, it's a roller coaster. We've got emotions, we've got fun. So buckle your seatbelts. Allow me make welcome our guest today on today's show. We have a first class chief. She's going to introduce herself and then we'll dig right in. So welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Nesambu Sandra, aka Chef Bernie, the first class chef.
Ooh, first class chef. She's going to tell us how she made it to become a first class chef. So going to our high school experiences, I'll tell you about mine. So you see how we did our primary leaving exams.
Yeah.
We passed, the results came back, we got that phone call, oh my god, this is what you've scored. And so we had to make choices between which school we had to go to. So I had really good points, so I had two schools on mind, so I had to take a decision between the two schools. Do you know what my decision was even based on? So there was this school, it had, you know how primary schools serve porridge for breakfast, and then lunch. So I was told one of these schools had porridge with milk for breakfast, but did not have lunch. Then the other school had lunch that included rice. So I'm like, should I go for the rice lunch or for the porridge breakfast? Guys, can you believe my choice for a school was based on how we would feed. So I went for the school that served lunch, rice, and it was a really good school actually. It turned out it was even better than I expected. So I went in there. It was a huge school. You know, coming from a small primary school that had 300 students, and then you go to a school that has 3,000 students. People are everywhere, you're so new. But the beauty is I had we had a family group. Okay. We were over 20 kids, yeah? and so we were all joining. We were from the same, locality, and we all joined at the same time. So we were all new, so we got to experience this whole thing together as a group, and it was really fun. I mean, we used to be dropped to school in the morning, then in the evening they would pick us up. So guys, I went in for senior 1. My senior 1 was interesting. I went, got a seat. With high school there are kids from like all these backgrounds, and you have to mix and mingle with them. So it was quite the experience. So tell me, how did you join high school?
Yeah, I finished my PLE exams and I had very, very nice grades. And guess what, guys? My sister was from America by that time, so she came back and she was like, how did my sister perform? Which school is she going to? And she was wishing all the best for me by that time because I deserved it because of my grades. So she preferred Mango Senior School. By that time, it was too late. The admissions were out. Students had already started schooling. Munak, netugenda. Guess what? We found her friend called Eric, and he took us to some lady. Chala Kalyango,
the deputy.
Yeah, the deputy. And guess what? God was amazing. They gave me, they accepted my admission. By that time, we just went with faith because we didn't have much money or to pay for the tuition and stuff, school fees, requirements, but we had the faith in us. So by that time we went. God was good. I got the place in the school. My senior 1 was shaky, kind of shaky. The beginning was oh my God. I didn't know that. Actually, I went with a mentality knowing that, hey man, this school is too good for me. So I'll definitely be there for only 1 year. That was my senior 1. I didn't know that I deserved such a big school, but
then you joined, and
I joined. My senior 1 was I got a seat. The very first time I got a seat, after the assembly, these guys came back to their seats. Man, they pushed me. I went to the back.
I know senior 1 kids can be funny.
Definitely. And the most annoying part of it, I was dozing at the back bench. Backbenchers bali abananga basimula engolo zukuka. I had
Why
my
are you
friend
sleeping? Did you come to schools to sleep?
I was from P7, overreading, books, what. So I came in Form 1. I thought these things are just chilling and stuff. We had our first lesson, that was German. The first word I learned in German was the Ja. I joined my senior 1.
Which was?
And that was 2015.
2015.
Yeah. That
which is what? 2015?
2015. Yeah, that was when I joined high school. So you do know some German,
Definitely. Wie geht es?
Es geht mir gut.
Guys, that's German for you. So you see, when you go to high school, it's an opportunity to learn different languages, because I know some schools do learn French. Some of you go to high school and you opt for Luganda. That is also an option, because man, you have to pass. So you'd rather go back to your roots and learn Luganda.
Yeah.
So some of us, I actually go to learn German. Yeah. And so when you studied German, did it create any opportunities for you?
Definitely.
Tell us about those.
German has a lot of opportunities, by the way. If you're a student there, I would recommend German because I got a lot of things from German. First, it was a project that opened up my career that I didn't know. That was the startup project that was brought in by the German government. It sponsored everything. We went to forest cottages, Bogoto. We were trained how to start up our own business.
So entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship, yeah. So we are a group of 3, me, Valeria, and Desire. We came up with an idea of making snacks. So we gave ourselves this name, crispy saints nuts. Crispy saints nuts.
So you guys started making business.
Yes, and the winners went to German. We were the second, and we were given some gifts. We were given an opportunity to deal with businessmen in Uganda. We got a chance of meeting Madame Nina for Nina Interiors along Ginger Road. If you know,
guys, take your foreign language education very serious, because now this guy's got an opportunity to meet the owner of Nina Interiors. So going back to like our experiences in high school, are there some lessons that you really learned from dealing with kids from different backgrounds? Because I, for one, I remember having to sit behind in front of kids that used to say very vulgar words. And then now for me, that is a Christian, I've never had such big words being spoken. I had to learn to deal with them, but in a way that, I used to tell them, guys, you can't say such words around me. Not because I had kajanja, but it was unnecessary. Like, okay, if you want to say your bad words, please do so
but
elsewhere.
not around
And
you.
with time, they actually stopped saying bad words. They became better kids. So those guys, shout out to you, because now they're actually better kids. They knew around this person, around Maybelline, we can't say certain words. So with time, they started reducing. I got some leadership skills. I got to be the, not class monitress, a peer counselor. Do you know kids your age go through so much? Mental health, stress from, let's say, lack of school fees, that identity of wanting to fit in with everyone. So our school came up with an idea of having peer counselors. Like, you become a counselor to your peers. So I became a peer counselor. I used to talk to kids my age. So that was really... Did you get into any leadership experiences while at school?
Besides that, before I got there, dealing with students, kids of different backgrounds, I had to deal with an Indian at a certain point. You know, we had this Indian called Gondalia Dylan, if I'm to remember. So that guy, they have this thing of they're vegetarians, they don't eat meats and stuff. So I remember I mocked him in a way that, you don't eat meat. That day was a special, we had a special meal. Why don't you eat meat? What and stuff. And I laughed very loudly, and I told him that, because this is your God. You think the cow is your God. That is why you don't eat. I laughed, and everyone looked at us. So he felt so bad. He was so annoyed. Okay, that thing was, nachikolanga mubuto obo butamanya. I didn't respect his. I didn't respect his culture.
You have to respect other people's culture.
Yes, by that time I didn't. Nemujerega kakatonda kamwente. That guy, from that guy can't even step where I step. Because I disrespect. So that was actually gave me a lesson to learn, respecting
other
people's cultures, beliefs and stuff. Because I personally would feel so bad if someone comes and mocks God. So then academic leadership, I got an opportunity to be the academic prefect of Mengo Senior School, lower school. It gave me an opportunity to drill more into the books, reading, discussions, research and stuff, and also giving a hand to those students who were academically weak.
So you see, in high school, there are high schools that have boarding and day. So, were you a day scholar or a boarding scholar?
I was both.
Okay. Now, for me, who was a day scholar, I remember there were times, so when you leave O level, then you go to HSC. HSC was a bit more serious, because now you had to take those combinations that you knew you wanted and you could work at your level. So I used to be like top of my class because I knew exactly what I wanted. I did my literature. So I used to really read a lot of books, and I was really focused. But now you see, being a day scholar, they had to come pick me So they would come pick me at around 6. Me, I still wanted to be in a discussion reading, because you see discussions, there's a way they help. So after class, me and my group would go for discussions, and then they would come and pick me, and me, I wanted to discuss. So my parents were like, you know what, let's just put this one in hostel. Guys, hostel, usually it's a chance for kids to go wild. They're like, now I have freedom. But for me, hostel was a chance for me to actually spend more time at school, go to hostel late so that I could read even on Sundays. Now for me, even on Sundays, I would leave hostel, go to school and read, and let me tell you, it actually paid off. You see, with high school, you must know which kind of student you are. Are you one that reads, what do they call that thing? Winter. Are you the one akuba winter? Or are you, because now me, winter yagana, let me tell you, winter yagana. Those things of putting my feet in cold water, it refused. But how did I manage to perform? Now me, I used to utilize my time during the day. Like let's say after class at 5, I would go for a discussion up to like 7. So all that time I'm using these things of guys, winter I think it's like over at 3 or 1 in the night, but me 8 to 10 preps. I would doze. Let me tell you, me I would doze. I can't do winter. So for me, I would just, so you need to know what type of student you are for you to survive, because winter in Zogana, but you can use, let's say, lunchtime. Lunchtime I would go pick my lunch, eat quickly, because lunch is usually an hour. So the 30 minutes I used to read, then the 30 I eat. Because by the way, you need to know who you are. If you're choosing a combination for HSC, you need to know in the history. Musobola, biology simusobola, tewesiba ku bintu byotasobola. That's how. Because okay, there's being a smart student, but you're not good at biology. You might be smart. Not all smart students have to do sciences. Some of us went and did our arts and excelled in our literature. So how did you find HSC in particular, A level, with those combinations?
Actually, it was kind of tricky one, because it brought in these things of balancing.
Balancing.
That word could even give me headache, because my most challenging paper was paper 6 for history. I did history, German, and economics.
You did German,
Yes. So Mr. Mugera Jeremiah was my history 6 paper teacher. Banang, that guy, you know, he's good, so he thinks everyone is good at what he does. So I found challenges in balancing paper 3 and paper 6. You would come with a 93 in paper 3, girl, and you come with a 39 in paper 6. Can you imagine? That's it's 1 point. If I'm to remember, that's 1 point, because you fail to balance. But if you get, let's say, a 53 and a 56 in both papers, you would balance. So the challenging bit of it was balancing my papers.
You have got to balance the both. That's for HSC. I don't know if the curriculum has changed. I think there's a new curriculum for high school. For HSC. Because I know O level changed, and now they have to do more of practical. But now even I think HSC is changing, A level is changing. So because initially, over the years, there were 25 points for A level. Then they came down to 20 points. So now things are changing. But I would say, as a student in high school, make sure you know what you want. You know what you want. There are so many, curriculum has changed, but now there's something that is such a big deal in high school that is prohibited: relationships. Kids in high school wanted to date. Kids in high school they coupled. My school had a zero tolerance to dating. But know what I can say? There's time for everything. The Bible says there's time for everything. Let me tell you. After you leave high school, you have so many years of dating. Kati papa. Because by the way, when you're in high school, your brain is not fully developed. So you might tell me I want a guy who is like this, but after their high school relationships, some of them don't survive, eh? Because what you wanted when you are in high school at that age is not what you're going to want when you're at campus or even when you're working, eh? So there's time for everything. Those things are just distracting, eh? You see, we had a head teacher. One time at assembly, he came and said that if you're on a boat and sailing, now the boat is being too heavy, it's about to sink, but you want to go somewhere, start throwing some things off of the boat. You see with the story of Jonah, those guys were in a storm, and then they had to throw some things off the boat to be able to sail. Then after they realized Jonah was the problem, they threw him off the boat. Same thing. You want to get somewhere, you want to get 20 points, eh? You want to excel, but your boat is carrying so many things. There's a boyfriend that is giving you headache. There's a girlfriend that is giving you headache. Meanwhile, in high school, sometimes you don't even have money. The girl wants money. Guys, why the stress? First, do something. Finish it. Get the points. Then after, because out here, because let's say between baby class and senior 6, those are like 18 years of your life. About 18 years of your life. So now, after that, you have like over 50 years of your life waiting for you. You can do all that in the remaining 50 years. Stress first work on the studies, finish. You guys might think my advice is outdated, but me, I've experienced it. Finish, get your points. Because I remember there were some kids in school who used to date then they got low points. Then after that, when we were joining campus, I had to first now go study some extra courses to be able to try and get, into university. At a university, you wanted what are those points called? You have to principal passes. Now they had to first go look. Why that struggle, guys? Do one thing at a time. There's a saying. Is it a Rolling Stone gathers no more? I think I learned that in primary. See, if you're touching this, you're touching this, you're touching this, you're touching this, you have a girlfriend, you have a wife. Guys, do one thing at a time. When me, I did high school, I got my points, I got government, I got a government scholarship, I went did that. Now I can date all I want. You guys. So how did you experience dating in high school?
My school, Mango Senior School, had this head teacher, Mr. John Fred Kaziwe, and he was against unhealthy relationships. That is what he called those relationships. So we had we had assemblies, teachers' assemblies every for Form 1, Form 2, Form 4. Those were Monday assemblies. For HSC, there were Friday assemblies. So whenever he stood on that pulpit, trust me, he mentioned about that issue. So each and every week, that message was being pumped in your heart. Unhealthy relationships, they are not allowed in school. And normally, he used to tell us, if you have a boyfriend stood near you, tell him, today we are done. Leave me and focus on my books. This is what brought me here. So with such messages in our lives, they helped us to focus on our goals. That is why we are who we are, because of that man. That is what I can say. So we were prohibited from dating. We couldn't. And if a guy could come and he's like, hey, me, I love you. Hey, teacher, young nana. You get it. So we would treasure his words a lot, and they've helped us. So focus on what you want.
I think the key lesson here would be to listen to your elders, because they have been there. So if they are telling you something, it's from experience. If they tell you don't do this, don't think because they are old-fashioned. Let me tell you, it's because they have been there, done that. So I know, right? Really, I know, right? So today's episode has been about high school life experiences and the lessons we learned there. But the key lessons here is everything has
its own time.
Do the right thing at the right time. Have fun, make friends. Guys, don't drink while in high school. It's unnecessary. It just messes you up. I don't know why kids in high school drink. But do the right thing at the what? Right time.
time.
So, but the key compass, as a sailor, you need a compass. I think the key compass for anyone's life, be it high school, work life, is God, really, guys. God should be your key compass. He should guide you. So, it was an awesome time having you on the show.
Thank you.
On the I Know Right podcast. I know we've had some invaluable lessons here, and hope to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in for the first ever episode of I Know Right podcast. So, see you guys soonest.
Ciao.
Ciao.